A royal author has reacted angrily to Prince Harry's recent comments that quitting your job can bring joy, saying that she hopes he never sets foot in the UK again. Harry recently spoke at an event hosted by BetterUp, a mental health-oriented consultancy firm who he signed up to as Chief Impact Officer. During the proceedings, the prince praised people who had quit their jobs during the pandemic to focus on their mental health. He said, "Many people around the world have been stuck in jobs that didn't bring them joy, and now they're putting their mental health and happiness first." Now, speaking on a GB News panel, royal author Christine Hamilton has reacted angrily to the Duke of Sussex's comments. "It's difficult to know where to begin with this pampered prince. What is the impact of what he said on people who don't even have a job? The unemployed, let's just consider them," she suggested. "He is so condescending, he speaks on high with all his power, his wealth, his privilege. It is mind-blowing how he dares. Honestly, I just hope he never sets foot in this country again." Christina isn't the only person to respond negatively to Harry's comments. Some reactions online also branded the prince out of touch. The Duke was slammed by Dan Wootton and Christine Hamilton on GB News. Ms. Hamilton said, "Well, it's difficult to know where to begin with this pampered prince. First of all, what is the impact of what he said on people who don't even have a job? The unemployed, I mean, let's just consider them. He is so condescending, he speaks from on high, with all his power, his wealth, his privilege. He has betrayed his family, he's betrayed most of his friends, he's betrayed his country." Dan Wootton added, "He's taking the moolah." Ms. Hamilton said, "It is mind-blowing how he dares. Honestly, I just hope he never sets foot in this country again. I think this, even for Harry, this is low." Sky News host Chris Smith said if anyone knows the joys of quitting their job, it's Prince Harry. He added, "He said overnight that leaving work is something to be celebrated. I'm sorry, but there's a big difference between reasonable resignation and just quitting. Easy to do of course with the royal inheritance." Social commentator Prue Maxwell said, "Exactly. No one I know would like to be a royal. I think it would probably be the worst job in the world." Mr. Smith chimed in saying, "I'll have it. 3 palaces, 20 cars, butlers, yes, please bring it on." Ms. Maxwell said, "Prince William and the Queen, you know, she has a sense of duty. And most royals have a sense of duty." This entitled young man who is spurred on by his missus said that it was a dysfunctional family. Well, she would know the criteria of a dysfunctional family. She added, "This whole job was just too hard. I have no problem with people generally who are unhappy in their jobs and finding it's affecting their mental health deciding to move, and I think that was the thrust of his argument. But when it's coming out of his lips, when he's sitting there winching on his $60 million plus budget and very happily trading, sniping inside stories about the royals, well then, you know, you just have to take it with a grain of salt." Laughing about Prince Harry's well-meaning remarks on talk radio, hosts Mike Graham and Kevin O'Sullivan pointed out he is speaking from a position of enormous wealth. Mike asked, "Have you ever thought about quitting your job because it doesn't bring you any joy? It would be alright if you had 30 million in the bank," he added. Kevin added, "They call it the Great Resignation because all over the world, particularly in America and Britain, literally millions of people have quit their jobs because of the lockdowns and gave them a new perspective on life. Well, I would suggest that a lot of them are going to find out that the reason you have a job is to get money. Yes, and if you don't have any money, you're gonna find you have a lot more mental health problems than you did when you had a job and you had money." Harry is no stranger to quitting an unsatisfying job himself, having departed from royal duties with his wife Meghan Markle in March 2020. He has since signed up to a number of ventures, including taking on a role at the Silicon Valley-based startup BetterUp in March this year. Meghan and Harry have also unveiled their Archie Foundation, through which they have signed lucrative deals with Netflix and Spotify. But, with no offerings on Netflix on the horizon, one commentator has claimed that the Sussexes' bosses are becoming nervous about their workload.